Today on The View with Drew, we are going to talk about why Man of Steel is my favorite Superman movie. The reason why is because I love how this movie reimagines Superman for a new generation, as a man trying to find his place in our world. And I really like that this movie tells a story like that because I'll be honest with you guys, before I saw Man of Steel, I wasn't a huge Superman fan. This movie turned me into a Superman fan. And I know people complain about Henry Cavill's Superman being serious in this movie, but as I've said in past videos, since this movie is trying to tell a story about an alien trying to find his place in our world, he's not going to have the traits that comic book Superman would have right away. Even when he gets the suit, he isn't Superman from the comics yet. This entire film is a learning experience for Clark. And if I'm being honest, this is actually a more human version of Clark. He knows he's different, he knows nothing about his past, he's lost with his place in the world, and he's trying to find answers. Henry Cavill does an excellent job as Superman, and in my opinion, he's my favorite Superman. Amy Adams is great as Lois Lane, and I really like how this version of Lois Lane is a lot more proactive than just being a damsel in distress. And I also like how she figures out Clark's identity really quickly. Kevin Costner does an excellent job as Jonathan Kent. Russell Crowe is awesome as Jor-El. Michael Shannon is amazing as General Zod. General Zod is hands down the best DCEU villain. He is scary, menacing, and he has motivations that you understand. The visual effects are amazing. The action scenes are fantastic. I also love how this movie gives us a Superman that can actually throw down with someone. The score by Hans Zimmer is flawless. Now, I know a lot of people tend to make complaints about this film that I feel aren't valid, and I think it's time to put these complaints to rest. So, let's jump right into the top 5 dumbest complaints about Man of Steel. Number 5, Jonathan Kent tells Clark to let kids on the bus die. This complaint is absolutely stupid. Whenever people say, oh, Jonathan Kent tells Clark that he should have let the kids on the bus die when the bus went into the river, that is not what happened. After Clark saved those kids on the bus, and Jonathan Kent was telling him that he has to keep this side of himself a secret, is because he knows what his son is capable of, and he knew how people would react if they discovered the truth about Clark, and that he will change the world. And he didn't want Clark to face the consequences until he was old enough and ready. Number 4, Superman doesn't save anyone. Really? He saves a bus full of children, Lois Lane, his mother, a bunch of soldiers, a family who almost got lasered to death by Zod, and the entire human race. Superman does save people in this movie. Number 3, Superman causes too much destruction. I really don't understand why people blame Superman for the destruction at the end of Man of Steel. A lot of the destruction caused in Metropolis was not his fault. General Zod and his army caused the destruction. Another good point I would like to bring up is that Superman wasn't in Metropolis when Zod's army was destroying Metropolis. He was on the other side of the world to destroy the world engine. By the time he got back to the city was already decimated. And yes, when Superman and Zod fight, there is a lot of destruction, but guess what? When an alien invasion happens and you have 2 super beings fighting each other, destruction is going to happen. Number 2, General Zod is an idiot. He should have colonized Mars. General Zod colonizing Mars wouldn't have made sense given his vendetta against Jor-El. And he makes it very clear in the film that he wants to make Clark choose between his heritage and the world he calls home. He wants to make Clark suffer because of what his father did. He doesn't hate humans because they are humans. He hates humans because Clark loves them. And in the end, he doesn't give Clark a choice. He makes it very clear. If you don't kill me, if you don't kill the only link you have left to your heritage, I will kill every human. And Clark makes the choice by killing Zod. Number 1. Superman wouldn't kill anyone. I can't believe he killed Zod. This complaint is so stupid and hypocritical. You want to know why? Superman killed Zod in Superman 2. This is absolutely ridiculous. What I also find annoying is that some people have said things like, oh, if he's strong enough to snap his neck, then why doesn't he just aim his face somewhere else? Why doesn't he just put his hand over his eyes or just fly him off somewhere else? Well, I'm glad you asked. Do you remember that scene where the airplane crashed into the ship and all of Zod's army got sucked back into the Phantom Zone? Guess what? Zod didn't get sucked back in. It was too late for him to be sent back. And also, aiming his face somewhere else wouldn't have done anything at all. And another good point I would also like to say is this. How else could he have finished the fight? They were fighting for a while, and no progress has been made. And when we get to that scene where Superman has Zod in a chokehold, he begs Zod to stop. Zod says never, and when he realizes that Zod's heat vision is getting really close to the family, he is left with no choice but to kill Zod. And after he killed Zod, he shows clear remorse, regretting killing him.